On the full moon day, we are all waiting for the employment numbers that would come out on Friday, May 8th. Unemployment rate at 14.7%. Unemployment over 20 million? Now, is this a surprise? Really, it was expected and everyone acted like it wasn't. Oh my God, it's doomsday. Really? The country's in lockdown. What did you expect? Please watch the last two videos, Full Moon in Scorpio and Money, Jobs, and Trading posted May 3rd, which predicted that Friday will be exuberant and bullish. May 8th, Friday, yesterday, the bulls stampeded with vengeance. Warren Buffett spectacularly cut his loss in the airline sector last month. On May 2nd, he was not his usual "Don't bet against America" personality. He was spooked. By what, you ask? Well, I'll leave that for another day, another video. But I like to focus on the market reaction to his bearish action. When in doubt, get out and just sell in May and go away. Monday, May 4th, the bulls staged a fantastic comeback. In my Full Moon in Scorpio video, posted April 27th, I clearly stated that the overall national sentiment was get even and the ominous mob mentality. So I went short oil. That's what I said. This message was clear and explicit. I even said that Thursday will be a critical day because traders would have to make a decision to be long or short, and I also explicitly added it'll be exuberant and bullish. Indeed, the stock market took the bull by the horns. That is the nature of the beast in Scorpio. Welcome to Market Astrology and Horoscope. My name is Yasko. Let me remind you that Constellation Brands and Waste Management was definitely named in the Full Moon in Scorpio video. You should check out the Money, Jobs, and Trading videos so you know whether you stand to gain or not. I post these for everyone who is concerned about their finance and their job situation. Strike when it's your time to win. Otherwise, your efforts are wasted. If the tide is against you, don't fight it. That's why I recommend watching the Money Chart video. Learn it. It'll save a lot of stress and anguish of not knowing. You'll be able to jump on the opportunity. Next week is the major turning point where we backtrack. I repeat, backtrack. As we approach the new moon in Gemini on June 22nd, public announcement about school openings, online schools, children needs vaccination or travel and interview guidelines will be made. The agenda will be public policy. Public sectors come to the fore. Schools, school teachers, public transportation, nutrition, children's nutrition, postal service, financial problems, health and human services, housing, labor department, especially government workers. Well, I hope they don't cut their jobs. Healthcare, FDA, the food supplies and purveyors, because of the meat, that Tyson problem, especially the animal health, and people in uniform and the markets, stocks and commodity futures. In one of my other videos, I think USA 2020, I did say that government will be reorganizing. Trump's a businessman, so he is eyeing the post office. FDA is another one. School system, and the department that handles travel, even passports, driver's licenses, and I can go on and on. But it's all going to be about public affairs. That's just to name a few. Today, I found out that he already put in place a new postmaster general, or the head of post office. There are accounting matters that need to be addressed. That's why I said there will be backtracking. to account for everything, even the CARES Act and the PPP. First of all, the states are running out of funds, and each state is responsible for the gradual reopening. It's important to note that the supply chains, i.e., China and the providers of medicine and healthcare products, come under close scrutiny. Look up PPE N95 masks. There will also be news of dangerous insects and animals that are invading crops and endangering our food supply. Remember the bird flu? Kind of like that. There could be talks of other kinds of respiratory disease that could require vaccination, especially vaccines for school children. Here is where CDC guidelines become very prominent. There will be news of new flare-ups of the virus, but it's not a major disruption anymore. Will the school children and the teachers get protection? Is the that's on the agenda. Each unit of the government is fighting for survival. That is why the focus will be on the ledger book. Talk about ledger book. Check out the blockchains, and while you're at it, take a close look at Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. Government has now implemented economic measures and now has the blueprint, so it backtracks to fill any holes. It's possible there could be cuts in certain medicine suppliers, or you could even hear of hospitals that may be in trouble. There are some commercial transactions that are pending, and that is where the focus will turn. The people are very involved with the government. There could be visitations, announcements of online school programs, and deals regarding trade and problems with oil-producing countries or our competitors. This could be because the dollar still dominates international trade. So what could be the problem? The fate of the interest rate in the U.S. What's foremost here is defining guidelines and accountability of funds. A lot of figures will be thrown at you with a lot of controversies. Keep in mind that public policy matters are high on the agenda. There's a lot going on. Many comings and goings, and hard to keep up with the news. That brings me to the topic of fake news that comes from abroad. A lot of dialogues will be surrounding business investments and rescue packages. We may even see visitations in the White House. There could be news about espionage and spy activities coming from abroad. At the Capitol, many events are about fraud preventions, returning money to the government, and investing in businesses. Of course, the stimulus checks are still an ongoing matter as the government grapples with free rent, check versus payroll taxes, or liability issues. Lots of dialogue and, again, backtracking. The White House and Congress now are in a different mode. Money matters. White House does not want to keep throwing money without accountability. That's what this is about. Government really has no other choice but to invest in the economy. Ask yourself, is Trump going to be Herbert Hoover or FDR? You really cannot expect the business leaders to bring America back. He has to initiate a new deal if he's going to win the election. Let me just say that misfortunes are not coming out of the U.S. It's more like from abroad. The drug and hospital costs are a problem along with oil and dollars fake. Others are having misfortunate events and the U.S. is affected. WHO, WTO matters could resurface again. Even though these are geopolitical topics, Taiwan and China, they affect the U.S. Remember, the semiconductors are manufactured in Taiwan. Major problem that Americans face is the coronavirus vaccine. The country is pursuing the virus cost recovery, from China. But Wuhan matter, that's really just starting. While we are on this topic of vaccine, this is a cost accounting issue brewing at the government. Remember, they are backtracking to see where the money went. It's now about accountability. The dollar, although still strong, is now a bit of a concern when it comes to distributing them the way the government did. Businesses, especially small businesses, understand that the helicopter money is debt that the taxpayers will have to pay back next year. Unemployment is paid by the employer, the businesses. If states lose business, the unemployment fund will not be able to sustain itself, and that's why governors are asking for help. Money is a big topic. Dollar, of course, is always a big topic. Hospital and COVID-19 costs are covered by the federal government, and there could be a problem with that cost. Now, members of Congress is starting to be concerned about the debt that is being created, even though it was money that had to be spent to contain the pandemic. Republicans and Democrats will go at each other as usual. Hence, the airlines, cruise lines, Disney, or any entertainment businesses are reopening abroad. Government and business will work together to promote them. Talk about gasoline. We could see price war again with the OPEC. I think we buy their oil for gasoline. I'm not sure. Auto companies have been big losers also, from manufacturing to leasing. Majority of the U.S. businesses are small business. In fact, I think President Trump's business is an LLC. So I would think he would be protective of small businesses also. In the international scene, there will be many news briefings, lots of hearsays, gossips, media coverage of deals and scandals, sensationalism, religious matters. And I think this could be about the Uyghurs in China and things that happen abroad. It is possible that London could be affected by some event again. I hope it's not another COVID-19 outbreak. Brussels also will be in the spotlight. In the private sector, small businesses that open doors to the public are encouraged to engage in business, yet refrain from contact. That's weird. Travel is also very high on the agenda. Paradoxical, I say, because Warren Buffett just exited this sector. I think we are now moving towards opening the long distance travel. I think this happens in June. Could the government be announcing infrastructure spending prematurely? When Buffett is his usual self, he would proclaim, "Don't bet against America." This month will be a lot about accounting, debit, and credits. The focus is on reopening America and how much is actually needed. Government is going to do everything to get the country's commerce back on track. Let me give you an example of what I mean by doing everything it can. I think Microsoft and other companies will be getting business from the government. When a big company secures a big government contract, they must also share that good fortune with smaller companies. That means Microsoft or Oracle or any other company would have to subcontract some of the work to others, smaller companies or subcontractor, so the economy as a whole can expand economically. Have you noticed that the public and the private sectors are now very intertwined? Even though I focused on domestic affairs, events overseas will affect us. There are a lot going on abroad. You will notice a dramatic shift in the way money is allocated. That's why I say they are backtracking. It's all about money. If you have not applied for one of the rescue packages, it may be too late, or there will be a delay, or some stringent requirements imposed. They are not willing to give away the house. Why? Venus retrogrades, Saturn retrogrades, and Mars enters Pisces. All this happens this week. So by the end of May, we will be well into the backtracking. Go back to the video, Ending COVID-19 and Opening America. I lay out the route. If you watch USA 2020, eye-open with Americans again in crisis, except the crisis comes out of Congress. That's what I said. You see how one event leads to the next? The public policy guidelines laid out will somehow make sense in June and July as we deal with interest rates, food supply, as well as housing and commercial debt. That's it for today. Thank you for watching.